always gone to church, like my whole family, all the time. I can't remember a time when we wasn't in church. Like my dad became a preacher when I was a baby, and I've always been in church. And I've always known right from wrong, and it just, I knew what to do and what not to do. And I always had people look at me and be like, oh, she's always a good Christian girl, and that's been the way it's always been my whole life. But, I have problems just like everyone else. There for a while, I got into some trouble, and it caused me to like fall and slip and get away from God. And it took me getting into some deep trouble to realize, hey, I can't not do this without God. And it took me months and months to get my parents' trust back. And I came to Evangel Temple and really wasn't expecting much because I've been to different churches and nothing really happened. But God just he spoke to me, and he finally decided, hey, this is where you're supposed to be. And I found my calling, and I realized I can't do this without God. And just because I've gone to church my whole life doesn't mean I don't mess up. And just because we're Christians doesn't mean it makes things easier, because actually it kind of makes things a little harder because you have to make sacrifices. But in the end, that's so worth it, because you can say, God will never leave me, and I'll never be alone, because God's always going to be there. And that's my testimony. I fell, but I got back up.